Life can change in a blink of an eye. Hey guys, so today I want to talk to you guys about where I left off in my first video in regards to how December 1st changed everything for me. It's been over a month now, and I've been able to talk about it, and thought I would take this opportunity to just bring awareness and educate and share my experience of what happened. So as you know, I had a very active lifestyle. I was working, I was in part of a lot of different organizations, volunteering, just doing a lot of things. December 1st was a typical day. I got up and I was getting ready to go to work and went through my whole typical normal morning routine. And on my way to work, I was about 10 minutes out and my driver was coming to a stop. So I do take Wheel-Trans to work, which is a TTC, but it's for people with disabilities. I was in a minivan and I was sitting right at the back because it was an accessible taxi. And it was quite, as far as I can remember, it was quite of a miserable day outside because we did have a huge snowfall the night before and the roads were wet still in the morning, and I think it was still snowing a bit as well. We were close to like 10 minutes away from my work, and my driver was coming to a stop, and as he was slowing down to come to the red light, a car came and hit us from behind and then hit us again. And I was like, what's going on? At first I was just so confused by it all. The driver was talking with the other driver and exchanging informations and whatnot, and while we were stopped, another vehicle came and hit us. At this point, I'm not sure if the second vehicle came and directly hit my vehicle or if it hit the first car that hit us. Anyways, that impact was it was just a very hard impact. I did not know what was going on. I felt very disoriented and confused, and I started feeling not well. I told my Wheel-Trans driver, and I had paramedics come speak to me, and at that point they thought it was okay for me to continue about my day, and I apparently didn't seem too injured. I was a bit baffled by that because I was kind of looking for guidance from them to tell me what to do. Like, I'm telling them I don't feel well, and they, I guess, didn't really consider me. Anyways, and just told me if I did wanted to go to emerge, I'm gonna have to wait by myself in the ER, and if I really wanted to do that because of COVID. I ended up going going to work, but then getting picked up by my dad. I came home, ended up going to the emerge because I just was not feeling well at all. My shoulder started hurting, my back started hurting, my entire left side was just in pain, and I don't even know how to explain it. My head was a whole different story. My head was pounding and I felt so nauseous and I just wanted to sleep. You shouldn't really sleep if you've been in some sort of accident, or if you felt like you've hit your head. I know I hit the back of my head, not the front of my head. I went to emerge. My mom really had to push for having them to come in with me because you're not allowed to bring anyone in with you. But because of my disability, I was fortunate for my mom to be there with me. And emerge, to be honest, didn't do much. They just did x-rays, and I had to wait there for 2 hours on a chair, which felt like I was gonna fall over, and they just said, okay, you have no broken bones, here is a anti-inflammatory and something for the nausea, and just go home. And I felt at my emerge visit that I really was not looked at carefully, especially when I stated a lot of symptoms of a concussion. Like, I felt nauseous, my head was pounding me, my speech was a little slurred. Actually, not a little, it was quite slurred that day. They really didn't do a full-on neurological exam at that point, but I was like just too, I want to say, numb, or just too not there to really think about those things till after the point. Came home, went to bed, slept, and I was just like, it was very odd to me, or it didn't really hit me that I got into a car accident. And I just started deteriorating, actually, moving forward. Like, my body started tilting more to the right. I wasn't able to walk properly. I wasn't able to use my left arm properly. My head was just pounding and pounding, and the nausea was just, oh my goodness. In the middle of all of this, because I was a passenger of a Wheel-Trans, and I didn't know I'm supposed to take all this information down or any of that. If it wasn't for my family and friends that said to me, you're gonna need physio. Like, if anything else, you're gonna need physio. You're not gonna feel it today, you're gonna feel it in the days and weeks to come. At first I was like, okay, yeah, especially even on the day of, I just like, okay, yeah, and then as the days progressed, I was like, yes, you guys are right. Like, something's going on. Like, I just don't know how to explain it. Like, I just don't feel good. I'm in so much pain. Okay, so now you have to potentially legal services, especially if you don't have insurance coverage or healthcare coverage that's gonna help with physio, because I don't have that. It was like a whole different journey on its own, which you would expect that you would get some assistance or some help or some support in getting that done, but you don't really. You have to do it on your own, and with the support of your friends and family to help you through that process. I ended up having to make phone calls and telling them my story and repeating my story of what happened to see if people would take on the case. And then I'm like, oh well, do you have pictures of? No, I don't. Do you know what area? I'm like, well, I sorta do. At the end of the day, I do have a visual impairment. Oh, okay, so that changes things. The ER experience was not quite the best experience I've had. I don't know, maybe when I do think about it, I feel like maybe the fact that I come up from a colored background and I was wearing a head covering, or that I came later on in the accident, after the accident, that I just felt like I just was not treated how I should have been treated, which is very unfortunate. And I know a lot of people, or quite some people, have experienced this in the ER. A lot of times people don't like going into the ER because it's just not a fun experience. It's just not a good experience when when that's the last place you want to go for help and for support, and sometimes it's just not a great experience. So I will leave it at that for now. Just to hear more about my journey and the continuing of my journey, I will be making more videos and putting them out. Stay tuned for more. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Till next time.